What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, as most of you guys with eyes can see, there's been some nationwide protests against ICE and the way the deportation situation is going in America as of this week. Now, they said over thousands of people have been detained by ICE and are being transported out the country as of recently. Now, there's been a lot of protests sparked nationwide. Arizona, California, out here in Texas, Houston, where I'm at, Dallas, so on and so forth. Most of them, for the most part, have been peaceful. There's been some craziness too, which I'll show you today in a video. But I honestly want to talk to you guys and get you guys input about this in the comment section. Now, you're seeing a lot of people out here demonstrating, and a lot of the stuff they say don't make sense to me. You're seeing a lot of Mexican flags when a lot of the migrants that came wasn't from Mexico. And I'm trying to figure it out. Just take a look at some of the stuff that's shown, and some of the things that they're saying, and like a lot of it doesn't make sense to me. And it's just my opinion. Do people have a right to be in this country? I believe they do, if they come here under the right pretenses. Now, this whole situation before Trump came back into office, and just hear me out, because for some reason the word Trump is a trigger point and people get upset. Before he got back in office in the last 4 years, they're saying an estimated 15 million illegal immigrants or migrants came into this country. And it seems like now they're trying to clean up that situation because a lot of people were scratching their head. In fact, almost everybody was scratching their head of why they're just leaving the borders wide open and letting anybody come in when it was so hard to get into the country in the first place years ago. Now, it seems like they're trying to clean it up, and now they're getting a lot of backlash. I'm trying to figure this out. Take a look at this, and we'll come back and talk about it.
We start tonight with a large protest in National City where demonstrators took to the streets calling for change. It was a wild scene most of the evening as hundreds of people rallied against the Trump administration's immigration policies. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. CBS 8's Elizabeth Sanchez was at the protest. She explains what sparked this demonstration and shares the message from those taking part.
Behind me, you can see hundreds of protesters who have gathered on Highland in National City. They got here late this afternoon, and many of them found out about this protest on social media.
The sounds echoed by protesters symbolize solidarity with the immigrant community. As one protester climbed a light pole and hoisted a Mexican flag, those around him cheered on, carrying signs opposing the recent ICE raids and Trump administration immigration policies.
We make America great. We are here. We do so much for this country.
As the protest unfolded, a fight broke out, prompting other protesters to intervene and break it up. From the air, you can see protesters filling the streets and blocking traffic as motorcycles performed donuts, adding a dramatic and attention-grabbing element to the demonstration. Police responded to the scene but didn't intervene, instead just closing off the streets. The signs read, "Don't bite the hand that feeds you."
I'm tired of politicians talking about Mexicanos. I'm tired. If it wasn't for us, this economy would be in the tank. And let them deport them.
And no ICE in schools.
I'm a teacher, and I will fight like hell for my students. We are trained to protect our students, and of course we are going to protect our students.
Other signs said they're here for their parents who immigrated. Even students from San Diego State came in support.
Trump and all of his people are spreading this dangerous rhetoric that all immigrants are terrible people and that people are coming here to just commit crime, and it's completely against the facts.
Some spoke about having friends or family members who are worried that they're going to be deported.
They're deporting people that are hardworking people. I've seen people that are street vendors and getting deported. Those aren't criminals.
This is what's fueling the protests. where community activists and even children gathered. And hours later, police opened up streets, but when protesters blocked police cars, they used tear gas to disperse the crowd.
There were also people out here spreading information about immigrants' legal rights on here, telling them what they should do just in case an ICE agent comes to their home or place of business. Elizabeth Sanchez, CBS 8.
And we begin with breaking news here on 12 News at 10. A chaotic scene. Look at this Glendale police cruiser. A police officer is not driving it. It has just been stolen by a masked protester. You see, he jumps out, runs away as a police helicopter tries to find him as he tries to hide in the crowd here. Hundreds of protesters filling the streets. The driver then speeding through the streets. The windshield of the vehicle is smashed. Protesters setting off and throwing fireworks at officers, doing donuts in crowded streets with their cars, all protesting the Trump administration's deportation plans. Thank you for joining us here for 12 News at 10. Those protests happening near 67th Avenue and Camelback Road. 12 News is there tonight. Gabriella Becerra has been witnessing what's going on. Gabby, what do you see?
Well, Troy, I'm standing just south on 67th Avenue where this protest is still very active and alive. Take a look behind me. There are hundreds of people currently standing in the middle of the intersection. They're blocking the road. You can see they're waving around the Mexican flag and holding up signs. Not really active right now, but on and off every few minutes or so. We've seen some street racing, some people doing donuts, and that's what that smoke in the air over the intersection is. But again, take another look at that video. My photographer and I were standing on the corner just after 8:30 when a man apparently smashed the windshield and overtook that Glendale police car. We watched him drive it into the middle of the intersection at a high rate of speed before running off into the crowd. And just before that, protesters were walking toward officers in riot gears and at times throwing stuff, including fireworks at the officers. Glendale police did come over the intercom several times telling people to back away from those officers and to get out of the street. Now, Glendale and Phoenix police have this intersection closed down and the roads closed in both directions. We've asked Glendale police for an update on any arrests or injuries, especially including that demonstrator who maybe stole that police car, and we'll keep you updated with what we learned from them. Back to you, Troy.
So we were watching the police tactics back here, Gabby, and it didn't appear like they were doing much at all to try to get the protesters to move out or the cars doing donuts. And do you know whether or not the appeared to be a young man who stole that police cruiser was caught?
Well, just before that, the stolen car happened, we were actually right up on the line with those protesters. They were moving towards the officers, and the officers in riot gear were moving back at times, letting off pepper balls or what appeared to be pepper spray. And so at times, some of the demonstrators were running back or running away. But it's unclear at this time if the person who stole that police cruiser has been caught.
And also, it looks like it's still a very active scene behind you. We're talking now about several hours of this protest going on behind you, correct?
That's right. We know people have been out here since around 5 o'clock. We got here just around 8 o'clock, and things have been very active since then. Things are, dying down a little bit compared to when we were here. It seemed like a lot of people ran away when that police cruiser was stolen, but still a lot of people are out here. The roads are blocked. There's been people standing along the sides of the street down 67th Avenue where this is all neighborhoods.
And one quick thing about the traffic in the area. Gabby, are those streets still shut down right now?
They are. We're actually standing just on the side of the street here on 67th Avenue. The traffic that you do see going through the intersection every so often are people that are within the closed barrier. So yes, police are not letting anyone through for several blocks leading up to this intersection in all directions, 67th Avenue and Camelback Road.
All right, Gabby, excellent job reporting out there. You and your photographer tonight. I'm glad you're staying safe outside of that area. Thank you for reporting.
All right, guys, that's just some of the stuff that's going on out here at present. And I'm gonna be honest with you, for the most part, I'm trying to figure it out because, it seemed like, they're allowed to protest. You have freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of assembly in this country, and they're allowing them to do that. I have no problem with what they're speaking about, what they're trying to, the positivity from it. But as you've seen, in what's happened in Glendale, Arizona, every time you have large amounts of people that are trying to stand together for a purpose and give a show of solidarity, it always brings riffraff with it, especially when you have large amounts of people and a lot of them don't know how to act and they're there for the wrong reasons. And I think shit like this that happened in Glendale, Arizona overshadows stuff happening in other countries. There are a lot of people out there that really feel as though they're standing for something in their demonstrations. You know what I'm saying? And you get other people that's out there just wanting to be a part of it. They want to flex for the gram. Hey, we out here. And you see a bunch of crazy stuff. A lot of people just want to be seen. Now, let's go to the first video. The first video I showed. They were talking and some of the stuff they were saying made no sense. Now, everybody had Mexican flags out there. I didn't see any other flags. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, so, and the thing that's crazy is like most of the people that was brought over here came from China, a lot of them from Africa, a lot of them from other South American countries. And it wasn't really Mexicans that was the ones in trouble. But all of a sudden, the Mexican population is out there. I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe I'm missing something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people are fearful and stuff like that, and rightfully so, because we've never seen this before. I've never seen people just getting taken out of the country, en masse, put on military jets, flown to different countries where they came from. And I'm more than sure it does scare some people. But I mean, if you're here legally and you know what it takes to be here legally, and you're fighting for people that are here not legally, I'm trying to figure that out. The one dude said, oh, I'm tired of politicians talking bad about Mexicanas, about Mexicans. What? What? I'm tired of it. I'm like, okay, what are you doing out here? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe I'm missing something. And that's why, like, you know, we do these videos. And when I do these videos, I don't know. I look to you guys, the viewer. Hey, in the comment section, what is this really about? In Houston, they was protesting out here, and it was a smaller protest. Dallas, they're protesting, and they're saying, hey, it's my turn to fight for my ancestors that gave me a better life. Here, okay, they came here and were legal and gave you a better life, and you're born here, so you are legally a citizen. What dog do you have in a fight that's happening right now? I'm trying to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be insensitive because there are people out there crying and people that are really believing that what they're doing is the right thing, and, you know, so on and so forth. And I don't understand all of it. All I seen was Mexican flags out there, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, what about the other people? Are they having an issue? Is these rallies about Mexico, or what is it? So, I mean, if you could, before I make any judgment or say anything crazy, you know, I would like to know what this is about. So if anybody was at that rally, what was the main premise of the demonstrations yesterday and over the weekend? Leave it in the comment section. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.